We're talking all about the Epstein files. We're going to go through facts, fiction, what it all means. Why is nobody getting punished?
Interestingly enough, not hitting the front pages of New York Times, Wall Street Journal, a Congress who was not that willing to do anything on was able to do. Weirdly, we have to thank Marjorie Taylor Greene for
Welcome to the resistance.
I'm watching
it's bleak
Steve
and dark.
Bannon talk about rehabilitating Jeffrey Epstein's image with a documentary, and Epstein is like, yeah, great, and I'm pretty sure Woody Allen is available to edit. He was wondering if he could just do one of those straight to camera YouTube videos. People would just turn the video on and be like, hey guys,
we have to talk about it.
You might have heard some pretty ugly things about me and some young women.
He does it like Miranda sings with a ukulele.
Truly. Epstein was accused. I fully thought this was a joke.
Yeah,
and
same.
I cannot believe there's a picture. I duct taped his head to a high back chair.
I want to see the dolphins.
Loaded him in a private sub.
Let me see the manatee.
And
I love the manatee.
Ghislaine I gotta get a picture of this.
Yeah.
I'm looking downtown with Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. So listen up to Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on.
It's looking at boobs on there.
Boobs? What'd you say?
I saw you. You had boobs up on there.
I didn't have boobs up on there.
He's creating a toxic work environment.
Welcome back, everybody. And hello, if you're a new viewer in here from the acid video, we welcome you to our weekly show. This week is a very good episode. We're going to be talking
It hasn't been done yet, though, so we don't know. It could be a train
It
wreck.
could be a total, hey, pretty funny there.
I actually didn't mean to do that. So literally no pun intended.
Yeah,
We don't do puns here.
We don't do puns. This is a very serious show. We're talking all about the Epstein files, the released ones. We're going to go through facts, fiction. We're going to go through our opinions, what it all means. Why is nobody getting punished? You name it. We're going to talk about all the people that are mentioned in there. Some of my favorite photos from the photo leaks.
Also, if you are here from the acid video and you want more, there's a much, much longer uncut edition on
Almost an hour long.
On benandemilshow.com. You can get that there. You can get all of our bonus content there. Also, with everything going on, anyone critical of the Trump administration is being silenced and stuff. So who knows what's going on with these algorithms. If you really want to support and you want to make sure you don't lose stuff from us, you can go over there. I think you can create a free membership too. If you don't want to pay anything, at least
you can try it out for 7 days or 6 days.
Get on our email list or something, because Lord knows what's going to happen with all these. Who knows?
Yeah, for all the tried and true kiddies out there, we got that new merch coming very, very soon, so don't worry about it. Wow, should we just dive right in? I feel like a good place to start would be a statement from...
I don't even know where to start. I mean, there's fucking 3 million of these.
Well, that's what I think the Department of Justice, I mean, granted, it's Trump's Department of Justice, but I think that their statement is a good starting point. This was released on Friday, January 30th. The DOJ today published over 3 million additional pages responsive to the Epstein Files Transparency Act, signed by law by Trump on November 19th, 2025. It's over 2,000 videos and 180,000 images are included in today's additional publication. Combined with prior releases, it makes total production nearly 3.5 million pages. So here's the key stuff. These files were collected from 5 primary sources, including the Florida and New York cases against Epstein, the New York case against Maxwell, the New York cases investigating Epstein's death, the Florida case investigating a former butler of Epstein, multiple FBI investigations, and the Office of Inspector General investigation into Epstein's death. Okay, let's see. Where was the... this key paragraph here. This production may include fake or falsely submitted images, documents, or videos, as everything that was sent to the FBI by the public was included in the production that is responsive to the act, which means anybody, you, me, your mom, your dad, your sister. What's up to your sister? How's she doing?
How is your sister
How's
doing?
your
though?
sister
Is she
doing?
okay?
She okay?
Also, important to note,
Anybody could have submitted to this, and the FBI and they released it
every
as part of the act.
I mean, no one's gone through all 3.5 million pages of this.
We did.
Yeah, we're doing our best here, but just in this cursory run through that people have been doing in the last couple of days, pretty much everyone who's like whiffed a bit of power is showing up in these things. Interestingly enough, not hitting the front pages of
Dude,
New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Financial Times. Let me see. It
is psychotic. Well, as you look at that, I will continue here. Some of the documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false. And if they have a shred of credibility, they certainly would have been weaponized against President Trump already. Oh, I hate that last line. But that is, as much as I hate that, it is true that some of this stuff is completely unsubstantiated, unfounded, because it's anybody submitting stuff.
Sure. Yeah. You're. Are you referring to that specific FBI?
There's like one chunk of claims, and at the bottom, it's like none of these.
Right. None of them are verified. But then a large portion of this is
fully
emails directly from the people themselves. Them like snickering to themselves about like, well, yes, I guess there will be women there, or should I say girls?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I saw like a funny, maybe it was on Reddit or something. I screenshotted it because it was, I think this sums up exactly what's going on. This is from Balaclava Bob. These people aren't pissing down your leg and saying it's raining. They're pissing in your face and telling you it's piss and wondering why you're not saying thank you. And I'm like, that's truly exactly what's it's just happening. And they're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, that's part of one of my theories, or not theories, but I think part of the reason that they're releasing this is just to make us all feel powerless. Like, hey, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do. This is the way the world works, and the cruel men and women win, and you guys are plebs, and we're rich and powerful, and fuck yourself. Enjoy the piss.
Right. I mean, I do think it's intentional. They're like, I mean, there's no context here. They've just flooded the public with a bunch of files, and they're like, have at it. Here's our searchable database. You try to piece together something.
Right.
The fact that they're doing that is so insane. If we had any functioning Justice Department, they would be combing through this stuff and bringing up charges on all these people.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just put it in. I'm sure you've seen the video of the prosecutor being like, he's on Fox News and he's like, well, partying with Epstein is not a crime.
Certainly that is true. Partying with the guy is not a crime.
But we have the most prolific sex trafficker, pedophile in history connected to... how about we just start there? Okay, you have evidence of this guy going down and talking about wanting to be at one of his epic parties and talking about girls, not women.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what was there. This is only a portion of what came out.
I'm excited for, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton are going to be testifying at the end of this month. So that'll surely be a treat. But before we dig into some of this stuff, here's the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche talking about this stuff. This is just a quick 18-second clip, but let's this kind of puts into context and into perspective everything here. Go ahead.
Any depiction of CSAM or child pornography was obviously excluded.
Oh.
Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And finally, anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury, also not produced. Any depiction...
That seems relevant, maybe?
Okay, well, but what is nice is that it sounds like there are maybe some federal investigations going on, but again, it's Trump's federal government doing the investigation, so I
also just sent that video. It's because it's the same guy. It's Todd Blanche, Deputy Attorney General, talking to Laura Ingraham.
Oh, fuck Laura Ingraham. Piece of shit.
As some of the people we saw on camera at the rallies. Is there any chance that any of these individuals who partied with Epstein and engaged in, relations with minors will be prosecuted?
Well,
Any
look,
chance?
I'll never say no, and we will always investigate any evidence of misconduct. But as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein, and so as horrible as it's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein. And some of these men may have done horrible things, and if we have evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But it's also the kind of thing that the American people need to understand, that it isn't a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. It isn't a crime to have
Didn't look like
Munch's
that's all
Island.
that was going on some of those photos. I mean, if the photos could speak, some of them look pretty bad.
That's right. And unfortunately, photos can't speak. And so
Yeah.
we need witnesses and we need
Are there
evidence.
videotapes that you all have? Or
And
All
there are videotapes. Apparently, it's like 14 terabytes worth of,
Oh, yeah.
of videotapes. Just like,
I mean,
so much footage.
they lived a life of pleasure and hedonism and traveling and visiting exotic far off locales, and there were all kinds of, I mean, just I combed through a few thousand of the photos, and that's like all it was. Oh, there they are on a private jet, there they are on a secluded beach, there they are riding ATVs somewhere. Look, it looks like they're somewhere in like the woodlands of England, rural,
That is the craziest thing. I mean, speaking of that comment where they're like they're pissing in your face and telling you it's piss.
yeah.
It's just shocking that all this is going on, and there are so many pictures of them. Just like you think you'd be like, yo, chill, like don't.
Well, and if you didn't know who they were, you'd be like, man, these sure are some attractive people having a great time. Boy, I wish I was a wealthy person,
Like those pictures of Prince Andrew over the woman.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
mean,
what?
my favorite is the one with Winnie the Pooh.
I don't even think I've seen that.
Oh
one.
boy, here, the Winnie the Pooh one is my favorite. Here, let me pull it up real fast.
Who's he there with?
I don't know. I don't know, man. It looks like he's at Disneyland.
It
though.
does look
gotta
like
be
he's at Disneyland. Yes. You
With-
know who wasn't in the files so far?
Many people, but who?
Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, Joe Byron was not in them.
Just not invited.
Lots of people weren't in them. Lots of prominent people, but
Hey guys, we got to take a quick break to talk to you about Superpower. I actually have personal experience with this, and I really enjoyed my experience. If you're anything like me, you go to the doctor once a year, you get your physical.
hey, I'm the doctor. Hey, let me examine your blood. Wow,
they take your lab results.
everything's
and,
fine.
And yeah, they just
Drink
go,
more water.
okay, you're fine. And you go, what does any of this mean? Are you even testing for stuff?
Yeah.
Superpower tests for everything. Okay, they're giving
100
you
different biomarkers.
They're giving you a full picture of your health. They're helping you actually understand what's going on with your body, where your health needs attention, what you can improve, what you can keep doing. And yeah, I mean, it was super easy. I did all my lab results in a day. Shortly after that, I got all my results, and I got a much clearer picture of what's going on in my old body.
Yeah, the Superpower doesn't just give you a one-time snapshot. It tracks your results over your lifetime. Each test builds on the last, so you can actually see progress year after year instead of starting every January. Their app includes detailed information on your heart, liver, thyroid, hormones, metabolism, vitamin and mineral health or levels, and even environmental toxins. And yeah, it used to cost $4.99, but right now it's just $1.99 for the full experience.
Make this year the year you stop guessing about your health with Superpower. Not only did Superpower reduce their price to just $1.99, but for a limited time, our listeners get an additional $20 off with code BAYS. Head to superpower.com and use code BAYS at checkout for $20 off your membership. After you sign up, they'll ask you how you heard about them, so make sure to mention this podcast to support the show.
All weekend, everybody's been talking about all the different things that Jeffrey Epstein had his little grubby fingers in. And it's like he obviously was involved with Trump. He was involved heavily with Peter Thiel. He was interested in Bitcoin when there was emails of him talking about being in communication with the founders of Bitcoin, being in communication with the founder of 4chan. The financial crisis. He had some like highly leveraged mortgage-backed securities at Bear Stearns. So there's people alleging that he might have been one of the first dominoes to fall and all that. He's got Bill Gates, heads of state.
Steve Bannon, Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
There's like a weird request from Leonardo DiCaprio back in, I don't know, years ago when he was like, Leonardo DiCaprio, can I put anyone in touch with Leonardo DiCaprio? He's looking for some opportunities for commercial work in outside of the U.S. Just bizarre shit.
Yeah. And he even had some are alleging that he had a hand in the proliferation of microtransactions in video games. So he's very much a Forrest Gump.
Yeah. I mean, dude, he fully is.
Jeffrey Epstein is kind of Forrest Gump. This weekend has just been, he was involved in that too. Christ on the cross.
He got banned from Xbox Live?
He got banned from Xbox Live. I saw also that he bought like a $3,000 Call of Duty like skin in the game. So he's a gamer. He probably, I was on Xbox Live. I was playing Halo.
I might have played him in Call of Duty.
Yeah. Wait, you played Call of Duty?
In high school, yeah.
There is
honestly, probably right around that time, yeah.
There was a chance that you might have been in a lobby with him or anything.
Do we have any evidence of him playing Gears of War? Because I was definitely playing Gears of War.
But I'm sure he did because he was a gamer.
Yeah, that was a big game back then.
He was a gamer. So, I mean, among all of this, there's these emails where he's having conversations about cloning, genetic engineering, time travel, politics, politicians, all sorts of stuff. So it's really hard to like not believe this narrative that he was the architect of many pillars of the modern era and the modern economy and the modern culture.
Yeah, we all owe an apology to the
tinfoil hat guys.
Yeah, to the conspiracy theory crowd. But unfortunately, they're now like protecting. It's like,
oh yeah,
Alex Jones was.
The Democrats had their chance. They could have released all this stuff, and it exonerates Trump.
Fucking
he was
piece
the
of
OG
shit.
on all this,
Yeah.
and now he's nowhere to be found. He thinks
now some of the Groypers or the Nick Fuentes guys are like, you can't deny that Jeff Epstein had aura. Like posting edits of him, like fan edits of him. Have you seen the Charlie Kirk like Jeff Epstein AI edits?
Yes, of them in heaven together.
They're incredible. There's
he might not be in heaven because what we're finding out is maybe he's.
Yeah, we'll get to that too. There's some rumors that, and at this point, yeah, anything can be true. And now all the schizo posters are taking a victory lap, and they're like, "Wait till you see what we got next." What if Jeff Epstein was actually Andrew Jackson and he's a vampire? It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I know they can't just take the W. They
really can't.
But yeah, I mean, before we dig into this, I really do hope that something decent can come of this. And I don't know, stop doing like, it's clearly not a Democrats versus Republicans. There's a horrific.
It's a class thing.
Yes, there's a horrific class of elites who are doing untold, unspeakable things. I hope there's a real
reckoning.
I hope there's an effort from, look, if you're a politician who wants to come up, and there's obviously a run here to be like, hey, I'm not a fucking Epstein politician. Because even if you weren't in the files or partying with him or emailing him or whatever, if you're not pushing for this shit to come out, like you're just trying to keep the status quo in place, and you can get fucking lost. I hope people come out and, I mean, look what a Congress who was not that willing to do anything on was able to do with just like Thomas Massey first it was just Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna basically.
Yeah.
And
they're the ones
like,
who were behind this.
Weirdly, we have to thank Marjorie Taylor Greene for like,
welcome to the resistance.
Like if we got some people in power who actually wanted to do something, I mean, we could.
I saw someone, a couple things. I think part of the reason why so many were resistant or hesitant to publish this stuff is because, as we've seen, a lot of normal people just don't have good reading comprehension skills. So I'm talking about the ones where it's like clearly right at the bottom, it's like these are all completely unsubstantiated. These are just anybody could have called in with these tips on the tip line.
Yeah.
And they're taking that and they're running with it. But then it's hard to say, are they taking with it and running with it to score points against Trump, which I'm totally fine with, or do they genuinely believe these things? I
Sure.
think there's a bit of both. And I think that some of the politicians who were hesitant to publish this are like, man, people aren't going to be able to comprehend. There's so much of it. And we know the way things proliferate online. We're not going to be able to, people aren't going to be able to fully understand what's truth, separate truth from fiction, which is something that I think Trump and the Trump administration actually want because it gives them plausible deniability. Anything that is true, they can be like, no, that's some of the false bullshit. That's all, you know.
I mean, number one, the problem is this shouldn't be. We shouldn't be doing this on like a bunch of podcasts and like YouTube people are obviously going through this because, as I said, none of the major newspapers and institutional media are even touching it.
Yeah.
We should have a functioning Justice Department that is doing this and not just people being like, well, and then it looks like he was there on that day. And then Elon Musk's daughter actually said she corroborated that they were in St. Bart's at that time. This is ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, there's that whole thing of FBI, the FBI tip line thing, but there are a lot of stories in there that sound ridiculous that are like corroborated by multiple sources. Which is very weird.
And there's plenty of stuff that's like under oath and, you know.
Yeah.
But
and at this point, there's like, I'm reading the stuff I like with my own eyes. I don't even believe it. I'm watching like
it's bleak
Steve
and dark.
Bannon talk about rehabilitating Jeffrey Epstein's image with a documentary and Epstein is like, yeah, great. And I'm pretty sure Woody Allen is available to edit. And you're like, I know I'm seeing it with my own eyes, but I can't accept
They're
this
so disconnected.
as reality.
The other thing I was going to say, I saw someone with a really, really great take when we were talking a moment ago about it's not left versus right anymore with this. It's 99% versus 0.01% of, and they said, if this isn't an argument for why there shouldn't be billionaires, I don't know. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. It's like billionaires clearly, as we've seen, are you really okay with there being a class of people that are so protected that they can fuck your children and not get any, not face any, nobody would even try to punish them? Like, you're really okay with that? They're
pissing on your face and telling you it's
they're
piss.
pissing on your face and saying, enjoy the piss. Some people might enjoy the piss.
And they're getting a little annoyed that you're not saying thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the piss.
You don't like this piss?
But yeah, I mean, these people are so far removed from normal society and just face zero consequences and have created a completely different set of rules for themselves, a completely different world.
Well, at the top of the list is Trump, obviously. Trump is mentioned, I don't even know how many thousands of times.
I think I saw someone with a stat that said Trump is mentioned more times in the Epstein file. Trump's name is mentioned more times in the Epstein files than Harry Potter is mentioned more times in all 7 Harry Potter books.
Wow. That is the most millennial coded comparison.
Yeah.
Wow. He mentioned even more times than Harry Potter mentioned in Harry Potter books. Remember those? Checkmate, sir. Time to go eat some bacon.
Another thing to point out is the way they release this makes everything so confusing.
Yes.
So it's obviously they're like hiding behind stuff and saying we're redacting things to protect victims, but when they first released a bunch of stuff and victims were not redacted, they've also redacted a bunch of people who are not victims and are probably
perpetrators.
Yeah.
But maybe they're part of the federal investigation, I would hope.
Yes, but then so they've also released things in weird ways. You'll have you'll see some things that are like iMessages released, and then some things that are the same iMessages released, but in almost like email format. It's all very strange. And then in the iMessage version, it's like Steve Bannon is redacted, and you're like, oh, okay, who's Jeffrey Epstein talking about? And then the very same conversation, but Jeffrey Epstein is redacted. It's so fucking confusing and weird, and so hard to figure out what the hell is going on.
Hey, everybody, we want to take one more quick break to talk to you about your blood and circulation, right? I'm sure you know, as you get older, you start to feel it a little bit. And that's part of that is due to something called nitric oxide, right? When the delivery system of your blood oxygenation works better, a lot of things improve. You got your focus improving, energy, recovery, sleep. Better blood flow helps your body shift into recovery mode more efficiently at night instead of feeling that wired but tired that so many of us are afflicted
There's
with.
also this metabolic side too. Okay, nitric oxide actually plays a role in insulin sensitivity and mitochondrial efficiency, which matters if weight loss is part of your New Year reset. Better blood flow helps muscles use glucose more efficiently and produce energy at the cellular level.
That's where Blood Flow 7 comes in. It's got no caffeine, no jitters or crashes. It's clinically studied to boost nitric oxide by up to 230% in a few hours. The science is all there. It's called Blood Flow 7. If your New Year goal is to feel better instead of just trying harder, it's worth a try. A lot of people swear by this, and
So whether you want better workouts and recovery or just want more energy, check it out for yourself at www.bloodflow7.com/BAES. That's BAES. We'll link it below this video, and you'll get a 30% discount for buying it through our link. I'm not sure how long the deal lasts, so grab it now.
Yeah, folks. Again, that link is bloodflow7, just the number 7.com/BAES. Well, we may have learned that Trump met Melania. In fact, I think it is confirmed that Trump met the First Lady, Melania, at a Epstein party. And by the way, a lot of these that we're going to be talking about and showing are from Twitter, but it's only because a lot of these people parsed it from Twitter or from the files, and it's easier to do it this way.
And they have a much cleaner screenshot.
Yeah. So this is from when he won.
This is the day after he won
the first time,
the presidential election.
And this
in
person
2016.
said, "I simply cannot believe this victory. No one called it. We all thought she'd win. You must be happy, though. I remember flying back with Donald on his plane the first weekend I went to visit you in Florida. Was the weekend he met Melania, and he kept on coming out of the bedroom saying, 'Wow, what a hot piece of ass.'" Nuts. Anyway, hope you're enjoying Saudi.
Dude.
Can you imagine? You're
Trump is also exactly who you think he is.
Comes out of
unbelievable.
Wow, what a hot piece of ass.
He's having sex with Melania, and he just keeps coming out and going like, "Wow, what a hot piece of ass. Wow,
yeah, just a fucking
what a hot piece of ass."
And then here, let's go to the next one.
Just despicable people, nuts. Anyway, hope you're enjoying Saudi.
There was also a lot of stuff. This is one of the real ones.
Yes, and that's the thing. A lot of so there was all that FBI database of like tip line thing was all unverified things. People were just calling in with different stories they had heard. This is
This is an affidavit.
Yeah, this is the testimony. Signed affidavit. Would get in trouble for perjury if she was lying.
This is Jane Doe who was talking about how she was hired by Epstein to attract adolescent women to attend parties. And she said that she witnessed sexual encounters that Epstein was forced to have with Mr. Trump during this period, including the fourth of these encounters where Mr. Trump forcibly raped her despite her pleas to stop. Let's go to the next image. She personally witnessed occasions where Mr. Epstein attempted to sexually.
You skipped a couple here because in June 1994, while performing my duties as a recruiter for adolescent women to attend Mr. Epstein's parties, I met a 13-year-old adolescent woman, the plaintiff in this matter, at the Port Authority in New York City, who said that she had come to New York City in the hope of starting a modeling career.
Ugh.
I persuaded the plaintiff to attend a series of parties of Mr. Epstein that took place during the summer of 1994. I told her that if she would join me at the parties, she would be introduced to people who could get her into modeling profession, and she would be paid for attending. It was at these series of parties that I personally witnessed the plaintiff being forced to perform various sexual acts with Donald J. Trump and Mr. Epstein. Both Mr. Trump and Mr. Epstein were advised that she was 13 years old. I personally witnessed 4 sexual encounters that the plaintiff was forced to have with Mr. Trump during this period, including the fourth of these encounters where Mr. Trump raped her despite her pleas to stop.
And by the way, around that same time, there is video of Trump being a judge at some like modeling scouting competition where the girls are like 15 years old. And he's there looking at him in bikinis, like with his I fucking hate that piece of shit so much. I hope you fucking die, Donald Trump. I hope you choke to death on boiling hot diarrhea.
I personally
Fucking
witnessed
piece
the
of
one occasion where Mr. Trump forced the plaintiff and a 12-year-old. I don't even want to read this.
Yeah, I know. It's really, really bad.
Maria to perform oral sex on Mr. Trump and witnessed his physical abuse of both minors as they finished the act. I personally witnessed or was made immediately aware of the 2 occasions where my boss, Mr. Epstein, attempted to rape and sodomize the plaintiff. I'll
just get to this. I personally witnessed defendant Trump telling the plaintiff that she shouldn't ever say anything if she didn't want to disappear like the 12-year-old female Maria, and that he was capable of having her whole family killed. So there you have it, folks. There's.
She was also threatened when she left, leaving the employment of Mr. Epstein, and told her whole family would be killed as well. Jesus
Where there's
Christ.
smoke, there's fire. Is the point? Is I think not the point, but one of the points here. In that, like I said, here we can get out of this. Out of the obviously they are intentionally releasing a lot of this shit, the uncorroborated, unsubstantiated claims, so that they can deny the real shit like that, and just flood everything with all this crap. Because then it gives them grounds to deny some of it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much with the guy Jean-Luc Brunel, to the guy who was like the modeling guy who ended up going to jail for sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Just saying the most horrendous things. It's I don't even know where to.
Like I just can't understand having millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars isn't enough. Like me personally, I would be happy with just like a cool old Porsche, a nice house, and I'm just eating and just eating at nice restaurants all the time, or like having a private chef.
Think.
I'm not thinking, damn, I need like to get, fellatioed by I guess maybe when you've been that wealthy for so long, you lose. Maybe there's something to these garbage Netflix shows where they got rich people doing all kinds of insane shit.
Yeah, I don't even.
Let's move on to some of the other people. So Elon Musk, Elon Musk is mentioned in a lot of these, and he lied, folks. He straight up lied. He said that. He was invited to Epstein's Island
and turned it down.
Because
he's a good guy.
And let's click on this one. He emailed, and this is after Epstein was convicted in 2008. It's known that he's a creep. It's known that he's doing some sketchy shit. And Elon emailed him, any plans for New Year's? The opening of the General Assembly has many interesting people coming to. Oh, wait, no, sorry. This is Epstein to Musk. Any plans for New Year's, or is it New York? What do you think? It just says NY.
Oh, it's probably for New York.
Yeah.
The other ones are for,
The opening of the General Assembly has many interesting people coming to the house. Elon writes back, I run and lead product design / engineering for 2 complicated companies. Moreover, SpaceX is about to launch what is arguably the most advanced rocket in history. Flying to New York to see UN diplomats do nothing
most
would be
autistic guy of all time.
Unwise use of time. And
doesn't understand.
And Epstein writes back, do you think I am retarded? Just kidding. There was no one over 25 and all very cute.
Doesn't realize that he's trying to be coy. And then obviously the big ones that have been going viral are him trying to arrange his own meeting at the island.
Yeah.
He writes to him to say, we'll be in the British Virgin Islands / St. Bart's area over the holidays. Is there a good time to visit? And then Epstein says, any day 1st to the 8th, play it by ear if you want. Always space for you. And then Musk sends several emails relaying a schedule, and the 2 settle on January 2nd as a date for the visit. And it ends with Epstein telling Musk that he would need to remain in New York and sending his regrets that they would meet. Bad news. Unfortunately, my schedule will keep me in New York. I was really looking forward to finally spending some time together with just fun as the agenda. So I am very disappointed. Hopefully we can schedule another time in the near future. And then in November 2012, Epstein sent Musk an email saying, how many people will you be for the heli to island?
Helicopter. Because apparently doing a helicopter, the FAA does not require
You don't have to report it.
You don't have to report it.
Probably just
Who's
to
on it?
Probably just Tallulah and me. What day/night will be the wildest party on your island?
Oh God.
Do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of sanity this year, and so once my kids head home after Christmas, I will really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I'm looking for. And Epstein says, understood. I will see you on St. Bart. The ratio on my island might make Tallulah uncomfortable.
That's Elon's first wife, by the way, Tallulah.
And Elon says, ratio is not a problem for Tallulah. And
Does it mean that there's more women than men, probably?
I imagine, yeah.
Yeah. God, ew, dude. Just what a fucking loser. These guys are
These are grown men.
They're just grown. Like, grow up, dude. I saw one. It was in the files, and it's Ghislaine. I think it was Ghislaine sending an email to Jeffrey, basically saying like, "I love you, and I don't know if I can handle this much longer. You keep having prostitutes in the house, and at first you said you wouldn't let them sleep over, but then you have them sleep over, and you know that I'm ovulating. You know that it sounded like she really wanted to have his child, and like, Jesus Christ, man, this guy was a twisted fuck.
Imagine there was an Epstein child and we all had to band together and
There probably are many Epstein children out there,
we have to
like
exterminate
dozens. We have to destroy them. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well, what if one was? I mean, some of Elon's kids are not inherently evil.
That's a good point.
Yeah. What if those two kids had a kid?
Call it off.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Mr. Bill Gates is in there multiple times.
Oh, but also, as I alluded to earlier in the episode, Epstein's daughter did confirm that they were in St. Bart's at that time. So it does seem likely he was trying to link up, and those are legitimate requests.
Some of these, so like here's one. Jeff Epstein apparently had a falling out with Bill Gates at a certain point because he wrote himself, much like me, he writes himself emails.
Yeah, I was going to say, people who have been trying to defend it are like, are you guys stupid? Like, what? This one's addressed to himself? And I'm like, have you never sent an email to yourself as like, I don't know, a reminder, or like had a note that just wrote a draft to something that you weren't ready to send or whatever?
Let's go to the other one instead. The one, because that one's a little longer. It was, so this is the first one that he sent to himself at 12:55 a.m. on the 18th of July, 2013. The next one was sent to himself at a little later. It was a shorter version. But he basically says, Dear Bill, I cannot believe that you have chosen to both disregard and discard our friendship developed over the last 6 years. I'm aware that accidents happen, blah, 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 blah.
Wait,
but
can I stop you for 1 second?
What?
Just hearing you say it, this plus like Elon and all these other people we're going to get into, and we were saying like grow up. It's just so funny too. They have all this like petty drama.
Oh,
just
yeah,
like grown men being like, I cannot believe that you've chosen to disregard and discard our friendship developed over the last 6 years. I'm aware that accidents happen. It's like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
It sounds like he did something. He like went behind Bill's back. Melinda, I think, was pissed off. Bill Gates' ex-wife was pissed off about
I also believe
their
he
friendship.
might be referring to Larry Page when he said, "You've decided to discharge me from my job." Had Larry, or no, that's his PR. Your PR person tell me that I engaged in morally inappropriate behavior, and then asked me to be the major actor in a cover-up so that you can maintain the reputation that you have worked so hard to achieve.
Oof, man. I promise that I will do anything within my power to make it right for you. I have more money than anyone needs, and I will do my utmost to structure something that you will not be penalized for my error.
He's also very, it seems like Bill Gates is
really pissed.
Well, also very worried about some of these secrets getting out. He said, Larry has now asked me to recommit to a confidentiality agreement and have categorically told me that you were of the firm mind that we should no longer have any direct ongoing business relationship, with a total disregard for its impact on the public perception of my reputation.
Yeah. And then he talks about divesting from this investment contract that they had, $100 million partnership. And then he says, to add insult to the injury, you then subsequently, with tears in your eyes, implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. Your request that I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda, and the description of your penis. Bill Gates going, please, Jeffrey, please delete the
delete
emails.
the stuff about my penis.
You got to delete the stuff about the STDs I contracted.
Also, just really want to highlight that. So apparently, Bill Gates has gotten STDs from one of these
Sex
either
workers.
underage women or sex workers or whoever he's going down to party with at the island. He's obtained it. He's gotten an STD. He's clearly worried that he's given it to his wife, Melinda.
Yeah.
And was trying to get antibiotics that he could, like, I don't know,
Put in her cereal.
drink or something, so he wouldn't have to tell her. Or if she goes for her physical or whatever, her yearly physical or whatever she does.
My favorite thing is, okay, so now go back to that other one. At the end of this second one, he says, this one is more in the third person. It's his resignation from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. But it ends with, I feel it would be dishonest to myself and my future from helping Bill to get drugs in order to deal with consequences of sex with Russian girls. I like how he just says Russian girls. Not prostitutes, just Russian girls. To facilitating his illicit trysts with married women, to being asked to provide Adderall for bridge tournaments, as I am a medical doctor but have no prescription writing ability. I love that Bill Gates was asking Epstein for Adderall for
Fucking
bridge tournaments. What a fucking
Jeffrey, I really want to lay into these guys. at the
Jeffrey!
bridge
I really
tournament.
need some Adderall.
How do I lock in?
I need to lock in. Is it cringe to ask? Is it cringe to ask your pedophile buddy for Adderall? Oh God. So
let's play that video real quick of so this is someone.
Which one?
Yeah, this one first. This is not, someone posted this. This is not AI. This is 2013, the same year that Epstein wrote those emails about Bill Gates contracting an STD and trying to slip his wife drugs. Gates launched a $100,000 challenge to anyone who could make a condom that feels better to wear during sex.
And at the time, I remember when this was going on. It's like,
these weird things.
He's trying to eradicate AIDS and all sorts of stuff in Africa, which I'm sure is part of it. But little did we know, it's him going, I really want to fuck these Russian prostitutes.
Because he's going down to this fucking island and he cannot help himself.
I hate condoms.
He refuses to wear a condom
hate 'em.
with these Russian girls.
Well, they don't feel good, Jeffrey.
And he's
I know what I'll do.
Melinda Gates.
Yeah. Fucking syphilis. I know what I'll do. I'll give $100,000 to anyone who can make sex with a condom feel good. Go ahead.
Bill Gates is turning his focus from software to hardware. The Microsoft founder is giving a $100,000 grant to whomever can build a better condom. It's part of his Grand Challenges initiative. The goal is to make a condom that feels good enough for men around the world to want to wear it and to therefore, very importantly, to prevent disease and unwanted pregnancy.
Yeah.
And there's another, just to like corroborate this, here's another quick clip of him being asked about it.
Firstly, on behalf of the International Health staff and students here today, we'd like to thank you for coming. My question is, since putting forward the condom challenge in which you are offering $100,000 startup funding to whoever creates a new condom that can protect and increase sexual pleasure, have there been any designs that are fulfilling expectations?
Yeah, we put out some pretty interesting challenges. How close are you to producing a better condom which produces, I don't know, more pleasure?
I don't know. I don't use them.
I'll have them get back to you on that.
I don't know. I don't use them. I'm
don't
still
know.
just raw dogging the Russian women, actually, and I cannot stop giving my wife venereal diseases.
Poor Melinda Gates, man. She thought she was dating a humble nerd. And then Peter Thiel is mentioned. Peter Thiel, I think, is probably, I mean, if there were a round table of the most evil men who have been the most destructive and influential in the last 20 years, I would say Peter Thiel is either at the head of the table or right next to the head of the table. I mean, this guy's been behind so much shit. He doesn't believe women or minorities or poor people should be able to vote. He's just a fucking evil little guy.
And can't help but just come out and say it. Like, talks about how he doesn't think democracy is consistent with how we should be running the country. He doesn't. That everyone remembers that insane Ross Douthat interview where he's literally like, surely, Peter Thiel, you believe that the human race should continue to go on, right? And he's like,
I don't know. Kill him. Kill that guy.
I mean,
Shoot
kill
that guy.
all these people.
Yeah. So after Brexit, Epstein sent Thiel a message saying Brexit, just the beginning. And Thiel wrote back, of what? And Jeffrey Epstein wrote, return to tribalism, counter to globalism, amazing new alliances. You and I both agreed zero interest rates were too high. And as I said in your office, finding things on their way to collapse was much easier, or finding things on their way to collapse was much easier than finding the next bargain. I mean, he's talking about being able to capitalize on the aftermath of some of these.
Right, and they both have this shared view of destabilization. In 2014, Epstein emailed Peter Thiel to say, I keep hearing your intentionality argument. Imagine if this mess is what Obama really wanted. Iraq, Iran, Libya, Syria, Palestine, Lebanon, Egypt. We would have to admit a strategy brilliantly executed. And then he says, the intentionality argument would
Peter Thiel says this next thing, right?
Yes. The intentionality argument would center on making sure the U.S. gets less involved with the rest of the world. I think that's the plan. The more of a mess with just lots of bad guys on different sides, the less we will do, ...
I don't get it. So what's he talking about?
I think he's saying
let everybody...
we have an aim for destabilizing all these regions, not having any real power structures there, so we have less to worry about. It's just they're just weird failed states, return to tribalism. There's no real... I don't know exactly. I'm not in the minds of these guys.
Well, then we've got Howard Lutnik, who's the United States Secretary of Commerce. He was swapping emails with Epstein. Now, this is one of the ones that's it seems bad, but when you actually... No. Let's just play the...
No, I think we should watch this video, though, because
okay.
it's very funny. This is a perfect example of what's happening to a lot of guys. Elon Musk, obviously, Howard Lutnik. They've all come up with these stories of like,
I wasn't.
Oh, sure, maybe I appeared in the things, maybe I had a close, something you would consider a little sketchy. For example, Howard Lutnik lived next to him. And everyone was like, what do you mean you never had any contact with him? And he has this very convincing story that him and his wife shared where they got creeped out. Let's hear about it.
He opens the doors and there's a massage table in the middle of the room.
Ooh.
And candles all around and stuff. So I ask very insightful, cutting questions. I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, and the right kind of massage.
Ooh.
Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
What did he
So I was never in the room with him.
What did he say about that? I get one every night? Is that what he says?
Every day.
I get one every day.
So this is this is very consistent with what's happened to a lot of these powerful guys. They end up like, oh, well, are you sure? Because it looks like you maybe were at the house and, oh, well, actually, I have this very consistent story. I was there twice, actually, the first and the last time, because I was so creeped out by them. But then we have a beautiful little email from Howard Lutnik
7 years later,
December 19th, 2012, post his conviction.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeff. We're landing in St. Thomas early Saturday afternoon and planning to head over to St. Bart's, Anguilla on Monday at some point. Where are you located? What is exact location for my captain? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? I have another couple, Michael and Marcy Lehman.
Lerman, yeah.
with me on my boat. And each of us has 4 children, 2 16s, 2 14s, 13, a 12, an 11, and a 7-year-old. And Epstein says, come Saturday or Sunday lunch, Little St. James on the map behind Christmas Cove. FYI, and then Leslie Groff says, FYI, I'll let y'all know what he says.
So now this one, people were going, oh, Howard Lutnik is a fucking, they were trafficking. These are his children, I believe. That's my belief. They're on vacation. They're for fucking
and
Christmas
they're traveling
time
with another family. They all have their children with them.
Still, if you're that disgusted by this guy, wouldn't you want to keep your children as far away from him as possible? Like, give me a fucking break, dude.
And obviously, look, this email does not show that Howard Lutnik is guilty of anything other than being a hypocrite, a liar, and clearly has more of a stomach than I would for bringing my children around a convicted pedophile.
Yeah, I would just say,
but it clearly calls into question his whole.
Yeah,
who else knows what else is out there with his.
The new Fed chair was on the list. We don't need to click it. We're just running behind a little bit here. Kevin Warsh,
of course he is.
This guy's a fucking man. What a power grabber. He's just some guy. Of course he was involved in this, and of course he's involved in all this shit. Jason Calacanis, one of the besties on the All In podcast.
I hope they take. I hope all of them go down in flames.
I hope they all die in a plane crash together. I love that Palmer Luckey has such a. It's like Godzilla and Mothra or whoever. It's like, let them fight.
Hates it. I hate both of these guys. But yes, let them fight indeed. But this has been happening a couple times. The billionaires are fighting because it's like Reid Hoffman and Elon Musk are having the same thing where they're having a spat of like, no, you're the pedophile. No, you're the pedophile.
Yeah. So I guess Jeffrey Epstein wrote in 2011 to Jason Calacanis, I would like to get in touch with the Bitcoin guys. I'm happy to see you doing well. And Jason wrote, hey, pal, running out to a kid's birthday party will dig up their info. So, these are the folks who are not trying to build a business. They are the crazy open source folks who are radicals, their motivations, blah, blah, blah. He had correspondence with him multiple times. There was a bunch of other things. And as Palmer Luckey points out, this was after the child sex trafficking conviction.
Also, it's very funny. I'm sure this was not
Hey, pal.
Well, I'm sure this was not his meaning, but wait.
You're sure it was not his what?
I'm sure this was not his meaning, but it's so funny that he says, running out to a kid's birthday party will dig up their info. He's probably saying I'll dig up the Bitcoin guy's info, but it makes it seem like he'll get the kids.
I didn't even think of that.
Running out to a kid's birthday party, I'll dig up their info.
Yeah. And then my favorite one is Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking. Click the second link. The second link is the more inclusive one. One of the messages that I believe Jeff Epstein sent to I want to say Steve Bannon in a text message. He wrote, these are all friends, each one wonderfully crazy in their own way. The art world, however, still leads. When Hawking came to my island, he said his dream was to go diving. I duct taped his head to a high back chair and loaded him in a private sub. Great fun. And then there's a picture of him with his head duct taped to it. I mean, it doesn't look like duct tape.
At first, I just saw the little text messages, and I was like, and people have been having fun. People have been doctoring some messages to make it look like things had happened.
Yeah.
I fully thought this was a joke.
Yeah,
and
same.
I cannot believe there's a picture. I duct taped his head to a high back chair.
I want to see the dolphins.
Loaded him in a private sub.
Let me see the manatee. And I love the manatee.
Ghislaine I gotta get a picture of this.
Yeah, this is great. What is this Sultan bin Sulayem?
Okay, so this is just for me.
For your own private collection?
No, just an example of kind of the depravity. Sultan bin Sulayem is, he's a member of one of Dubai's prominent political and financial families, and there's this email that is from them, which is like a little disturbing. Dear Jeffrey, some time ago you asked, they're talking about the Quran and Jewish and Christian people and if they can all be friends and.
Oh yeah, because Jeff Epstein fancied himself a bit of a theologian, a philosopher.
And so they're talking about, what the Quran permits and everything like that. And Epstein says, all I know for sure is that you are one of my most trusted friends in every sense of the word. You have never let me down, not once, not half of once. And I greatly appreciate the time we spend together. And he says, thank you, my friend. I am off to sample a fresh 100% female Russian at my yacht. And Epstein writes back, 100% Russian or 100% female? Question, if it were once a man and now has tits, pussy, lips, and butt, what percentage is it? And he just writes back, 100% female. And Epstein says, that's what I was afraid you would say. Make of that what you will. I find it confusing and bizarre. But then there's this.
All right, man. All right. Good for Sultan bin Sulayem. He's not anti-trans, I guess.
Then there's this insane message from them.
From the Sultan to Jeffrey Epstein. And it says
Chancellor Merkel in her youth, and it's redacted. But what it is a picture of Angela Merkel as a child naked at the beach.
With two others. How do you know she's naked under there?
That's what people have reported.
Damn, dude.
Subject, Chancellor Merkel in her youth. Body, Chancellor Merkel in her youth. And just a nude image of her as a child at the beach.
All right.
Why were these freaks sending each other stuff like this?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing to me, what's wild. So moving on, that Steve Bannon being like Trump's number one guy was like best buds with.
Yeah.
It's
and
weird.
Really
dude.
took a personal interest in rehabilitating.
Yeah. I guess he saw him as very, influential and essential and all sorts of stuff, I don't even know what to read.
Here,
with some
I
of
have
this shit.
I have a very, so a lot of the text ones are long. Let me see. It's also a lot of like logistics, getting in touch with everybody. And so then he finally says, dinner with Woody or too many pedos in one place?
Who says it?
Epstein says this to Bannon. Dinner with Woody or too many pedos in one place? Do you think I can do my own interview and upload it on YouTube? No sandbagging, interview format, or just a diary-like piece? He was wondering if he could just do one of those like straight to camera YouTube videos from like way back when people would just like turn the video on and be like, "Hey guys, have to talk. You might have heard some pretty ugly things.
We have to talk about it. Yeah.
You might have heard some pretty ugly things about me and some young women."
He does it like Miranda sings with a ukulele.
Truly.
Epstein was accused.
Epstein was wondering if he could do. Bannon writes back, if you do an interview, it can't be like, in quotes, Johnny does a YouTube. Has to be
Johnny does a YouTube?
Has to be amazingly professional and perfectly cut. And then Epstein writes back, Woody said he would help edit. Not sure how to stage, what points to make, but better than trying to do an interview that I have no experience doing. Goal to humanize the monster. Anything written carries little weight. Tomorrow, the juxtaposition of Michael Cohen testifying while Trump is with Kim is wild. And then he goes, Bannon says yes. And then Epstein continues, should it be an interview format, interviewed by, or just me speaking to the camera? Humor? Apology? How did I get rich? Topics?
Brother.
This is Epstein. One of the most important facts for the public seems to be the girls used the agreement to get money and only after then tried to have it voided. Is that better? What do you think so far? The idea is to get into the public realm the story that girls use the agreement to get money for them.
He's trying to discredit the women by saying that they were sex workers or that they were paid to be there and maybe they just didn't have a good time or something.
Here's another really disgusting one, okay?
What?
He says, oh, wait, sorry.
So this is all him and Steve Bannon talking about how he can potentially rehabilitate his image.
I thought so, but most of them just saw it on film. We're not there and loved it, wanted more. And then Epstein says, the Christians I met with feel the media portraying me as beyond redemption is deeply troubling and offensive. And Steve Bannon writes back, yes, of course. But we must counter rapist who traffics in female children to be raped by world's most powerful, richest men. That can't be redeemed. That's why we let them blow up the argument while showing the 12 you redeemed. Can't redeem the unredeemable. you are a lot of things which we will show, but you are not that.
Wait. I need to try to comprehend that better.
He's saying they need to, right now the narrative is that you are rapist who traffics in female children to be raped by world's most powerful, richest men.
And you can't argue that.
Yes, that's not redeemable, but that's why we blow up this whole argument while showing the 12 you redeemed. I don't know who the 12 you redeemed are.
Maybe they are the
like women he had helped or something like that?
Or maybe the women, maybe the women that he had helped, like my friend's girl in Austin who was like, yeah, I had a great time.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, so just for the uninitiated, Ghislaine Maxwell was the most powerful user on Reddit. You can look her up. Her username was Maxwell Hill.
Was that confirmed though?
Yes.
That was
I
confirmed.
believe so. I mean, it's the account became inactive and has not been active ever since she got arrested.
It was like the day she went to prison.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was confirmed her though.
Nobody, unless it's just a coincidence, why would the most powerful power user on Reddit suddenly just stop when you're at the very tippy top and you're so influential all over the website? I think that there was obviously something to the fact that Steve Bannon was such an architect of the information warfare that helped get Trump elected. I think that there's probably something going on between Steve Bannon, Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. They were probably helping to proliferate the QAnon thing as a distraction because, I don't know. But
wait, but just while we're on the Woody thing, here are texts. These are iMessages with Woody Allen.
Between Woody Allen and
Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay.
And Woody says, our business office said if you make out the check to me, it looks very bad because then it looks like a gift to me. And he says, I don't want to be one of your women, or should I say girls. I would be much more expensive than that. You wouldn't be able to afford me.
You wouldn't be able to afford me. What if you girls?
Is this one of the times when you're not thrilled to be my friend? And then Epstein says, yes, the price to pay would definitely be too high.
No, you're going backward. I think you have to work from the bottom up.
No, not with these.
Oh.
See how it goes? 411, 32,
yeah.
412. Yes, the price to pay would definitely be too high. I never waver, re-friends. And then Woody Allen says, I think this will be a beautiful friendship then.
As long as I follow orders, smiley face.
Ew, dude. And then Woody says the exact same thing, but in a dirtier way. That must be like his assistant taking over or something.
Yeah, these things are fucking Jesus Christ.
Just disgusting.
Well,
I just can't believe they all do this. Like they're willing to like do the wink, wink, nod, nod of like, or should I say girls?
Just to kind of
round
out some of this stuff.
Epstein says, what did he say? And Woody Allen's assistant says, are you kidding? I can't put it in writing. You wish you knew. Ugh.
There was also this one, there was a victim's journal, and we don't need to open it, but I'll just tell you about it. It was this, I believe it had to be translated. Some of it had to be translated because it was in another language or something, but she had like this entire journal diary of her nightmare experience with Ghislaine Maxwell and stuff, and described being used as a human incubator at his ranch in New Mexico. His ranch in New Mexico is massive, and
it's never been raided.
Yeah, and there's allegations that he was obviously probably paying off local law enforcement.
Zorro Ranch, I think.
Zorro Ranch. Yeah. And yeah, this girl describes like having her freshly born baby like taken away from her, and so there's all sorts of stuff. It's like an iceberg, man. This is just the tip of the fucking iceberg.
I can't believe we've been talking for an hour. There's still so much. Like there is no way to even properly account for all of this.
Yeah,
shit. And this is only a fraction of what's out there.
Yeah,
this is like we're covering a fraction of the fraction that's been released.
What's her name? Virginia Giuffre.
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up seeing the link to the Justice Department thing for this. God damn it. It's too hard to dig through, I guess. But she describes being forced into a room with this guy, and then he immediately gets violent with her. She begs Epstein to like prevent it from happening again, and Epstein just says that's just how he does it. That's just his style. But it's part of the bigger complaint that she has is from a law firm sent to like the Justice Department, and it's really, really graphic and really, really horrific, and it describes like photos that they've got of these. It's like True Detective season 1 type shit. Of like a young photos describing a young girl being held by all these. I don't want to get into it. All right, let's go back to the thing.
So if the Justice Department, if all of these files have been out there, I mean, I just cannot. There's been no head rolling, not a single person.
I want to
I mean,
round
there
it.
are people in other countries. It seems like
Yeah.
some Slovakian, I don't know, member of parliament or someone had. Obviously, Prince Andrew, the former Prince Andrew, is a very popular example of someone.
Yeah.
Having, but what? Okay, he loses his title. Who gives a shit?
Well, there's that guy Matt Stoller.
Yes, the Monopoly
at
guy.
the end of the episode, I want to share a post that he did because I think it really, really perfectly captures everything that we're talking about. Why there's no repercussions, how it happened in the first place, you name it. But yeah, so people were saying that. See, this is part of the stuff where I'm like wanting to separate fact from fiction because. So the creator of 4chan, the horrible image sharing website that's been around for over a decade.
That you spend a lot of time on.
Don't click that one. Don't click. The guy's name is Christopher Poole, and he's also known as Moot. That was his like username on there. And Epstein met him and had lunch with him and drove him home. And as far as we know, that was his only like interaction with him. And around that same time, I think maybe that same day, Christopher Poole relaunched. It's called Politically Incorrect. It's one of the sub boards on 4chan that is the biggest by far. It's where a lot of the white nationalists go and post. It's just a cesspool. And it's a frustrating thing because it's one of those things where people are taking it and running with it and creating a narrative that Epstein created it. And Epstein is the guy behind pretty much all modern online white nationalist stuff. So a lot of the 4chaners over the weekend were like having a meltdown being like, oh my God, I've been manipulated by a Jewish pedophile. My whole worldview is fucking wrong.
I did see one
Which
guy,
I think is a good thing that they're having that kind of.
I don't know if it was even on 4chan. Maybe it was just like a tweet or something of a guy being like, I'm not based. Like I was never based. My liberal friends are right. I'm such like a fucking cock. All I've been doing is propping up a fucking elite billionaire pedophile ring.
And I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that he was actually behind it. I think that as is the case with many of these things, he just had various interests and was always poking and prodding around to see where he could, be involved. But yeah, some of these guys just having a full-blown meltdown over it is really, really funny to me. And I saw a few other tweets being like, yeah, we've been trying to tell you, stop focusing on hating people across the aisle for minute differences when the real enemy are these guys,
Yeah, but I would say like liberals have a probably not as hard, but they have their heroes. They didn't want to torch. And I think that's why, the Biden DOJ could have done something, but I'm sure they were like, I don't know. This seems like a headache. A lot of powerful people are going to be pissed. I don't really want to touch that.
Did you end up reading the don't pull it up because it's too long, but Igor, the MMA fighter who was Epstein's, it's interesting. It's after Epstein died, and it's a follow-up interview with the same interviewer asking this guy Igor all sorts of questions, and the guy's basically like, I never said that. And then when the guy's like, no, I've got your direct quote here, he's like, you're this is wrong, you really shouldn't be doing this. He's freaking out. This guy Igor is freaking out and basically telling the interviewer like, stop, this is bad. He's clearly like terrified of, so it speaks to just how, he's probably been threatened by who knows. Did you see that Epstein loved muffins?
Yes. But also that's the other like fact versus fiction thing. I can't tell what's real when people were saying it was like code word. Because that one weird woman was like,
wrote a poem.
No, she was just talking about like, and I'm bringing the muffins because I know you only have 2 steaks at the thing. And there was a lot of food ones too. Obviously, people are going nuts for the pizza stuff.
Grape soda. Pull up the weird ass email too. I like. This is one of my favorites. So this is from It just says ballerina, and it's clearly probably some foreign woman who loves him. Dear Jeffrey, you are so intelligent and powerful men. Please tell me what's going to happen with Europe and Eastern Europe. And he just writes back, it's okay. And she writes, I love your answer. Thank you.
Truly the originator of that Robin Hood meme where she's like, can you explain what's going on with Robin Hood? And he's like, don't worry about it, babe. And she just goes, okay, yay.
Yeah. Yeah, yay. There's all sorts of other weird ones. There's the drug list. He's got there was a list of found of all the different drugs he had access to. He was, of course, like we said, banned from Xbox Live, which made me point out, did you know that Ice-T is like a big gamer, the rapper? This has nothing to do with Epstein.
I did not know that
Ice-T is such a big gamer that his username on Twitter is Final Level.
Wow.
And throughout his Twitter timeline over the years, he will randomly post as if, I guess maybe he's responding to people who are like, you're not a gamer. You're not a real gamer. And to prove that I'm a true gamer, this is a pic of me playing Fallout 4 in the delivery room, waiting on Chanel, his wife. And it's him playing video games. He just randomly will have tweets coming onto my timeline of him being like, I'm a gamer. Gamers get it. You wouldn't know it, but I'm an actual gamer. I've been playing this shit since you were in diapers. And there he is, man.
Bringing his Xbox to the hospital.
Let's see. I thought we would round out with like some of the fictional stuff. Nicki Minaj was tweeting about like, Jay-Z being mentioned in him and how Jay-Z is kind of a fucking animal.
Hard to trust her though. Her cousin's balls did almost explode from the vaccine, which was crazy.
That's true. Google Tony Rodham. This one tickles me.
Dude, a lot of the small ones tickle me. Like this guy.
Go to images.
There's this guy, Brad Karp. He's the chair of law firm Paul Weiss. Asked Epstein, this is from the Wall Street Journal, asked Epstein to help his son get a job on an upcoming Woody Allen film, according to an exchange from June 2016. He would love to work in any capacity with Woody on his upcoming film project, if that's a possibility. He certainly doesn't need to be paid, and he's a really good, talented kid. These people are depraved. Imagine being like, hey, I'm entrusting my child with you.
I mean, Woody Allen is a tough. Like Will Ferrell did a Woody Allen movie and not recently, and then you had Midnight in Paris, which didn't come out too long ago. So it's not like there was he wasn't that ostracized yet, but still, yeah.
I think the 1-2 punch of A, Woody Allen, the rumors.
Yeah.
B, this is post Epstein's conviction.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, true.
He's like, can you be my pedophile go-between for the other pedophile?
Yeah.
to help my son out? The fuck?
Well, some of the one of the more interesting potential nonfiction things here is the fact that Hillary Clinton's brother, Tony, died, I think just a few weeks, if not like a month or two before Jeff Epstein. And he really he's like a dead ringer for Jeffrey Epstein in some of these photos.
He does look a lot like him, yeah.
And some are saying that he was a body double, switched out.
Yes, there's people coming out saying that Epstein wasn't actually killed in the jail cell. It was a different body, and he's still alive.
And it was this guy instead. So I thought that was interesting. But so like the Bitcoin thing, when we talked about the Forrest Gump thing, people are also freaking out, being like, Jeffrey Epstein was why Bitcoin is around. Not entirely true. He spoke. There's an email where he says, he's talking to someone. He says, I spoke to some of the founders of Bitcoin. And then obviously, people are running wild with that. He met Satoshi. He knows who Satoshi is. No. He said that he spoke to some of the founders. He invested in Coinbase in 2014. He invested in another startup called Blockstream. Yeah, there's a lot here. And you guys might have seen one of the unsubstantiated ones that was just from the FBI tip line was a guy saying that he witnessed George Bush Sr. and a bunch of others eating babies and eating the poop out of their intestines. And some people are going like, oh my God, my world is shattered. Like what? It's like, take a fucking second.
But to me, like my timeline has been pretty focused on the like very real evidence that these people are very closely linked with these guys.
Yes.
And people who have in the past tried to distance themselves from him and say like, oh, even if I did, it's not what you're thinking. Clearly had a much, I don't know if I'd say closer relationship, but there's obviously more there.
Yeah.
And they're not releasing the whole thing, nor is like the public equipped to go through millions of documents to form this without context and everything like that.
Right.
These real investigations need to be done. Like we need to know what happened.
One of the other ones is, like I mentioned earlier, that he's behind microtransactions on Call of Duty because he had a lot of back and forth with the Activision CEO, Bobby Kotick. And it's not quite, it's inaccurate. So Bobby Kotick, I believe that he's writing this to Jeffrey Epstein saying, to me, X Prize is a good idea, but the key is real world rewards. Learn to read, earn cell phone minutes, iPhone credits, virtual items in games. He's talking about giving kids a kind of a kickback rewards for the game. X Prize, I think, was some kind of science prize thing. And then people are misattributing this next email to Jeffrey Epstein. It's not. It's from a guy named Pablos Holman, who says, I'm all for indoctrinating kids into an economy. You got to love how his example of real world rewards is virtual items in games. Pablos. By the way, if you look that guy up, he's psycho looking. He's like one of those, I don't know, internet. Look at him. I'm a futurist. My name is Pablos. I believe in the future. Back when Oakleys were cool. All right, and then real fast.
There's obviously a lot of people I think people are grasping for anything. I saw a bunch of people talking about like them mentioning pandemics and pandemic preparedness, which like, and then linking it to like, oh, they're behind COVID. And it's like, that's a big leap. What you're doing there is like the United States government had plans in place for pandemic preparedness.
Yeah.
Before COVID happened. That didn't mean that we were.
I know people think correlation is causation. Right. I like this one though. This goes back to Elon Musk between Bobby Kotick and Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein writes to Bobby, "The girls and I are going to see Elon Musk at SpaceX tomorrow. Are you around?" This is 2013, and then he says, "No thanks. I'm in Long Beach." And wild stuff. So in conclusion, I think that obviously Jeff Epstein was a monster, but I think that like that guy, whoever it was, said, oh, partying with him does not make you guilty. I think the truth is a little less nefarious. I think that Jeffrey Epstein was many things to many people. He was a broker of sorts. He was a connections guy. He was very powerful. He was very well connected. For some, he was just a innocuous kind of like wealthy, enigmatic party guy who you could contact and he would hook you up with young girls and stuff, or just like, party people, whatever. And to others, he was obviously like, they knew exactly who he was.
Yeah. I mean, closely related with John Luke Brunel, who we're talking about in the beginning, another guy who killed himself in prison before he could actually be charged with.
Oh, that's funny.
I think he hung himself. Another guy and this was the guy who ran the whole like modeling agency and was sending young women all around. Clearly involved in some kind of underage sex trafficking ring. It's unclear who else was a part of it, but there need to be investigations.
Yeah, absolutely. And even then, if some of these people weren't, as I just described, they were at the very least complicit
in
some, if not all of these things. And it also begs the question, as we've talked about and as we played at the top of the episode, that some of the stuff, if this is what they're showing us, what aren't they showing us?
Yeah.
What aren't we privy to?
I mean, as he said,
bleak,
they
dark
didn't release
stuff.
any of the stuff regarding, I mean,
Death.
I can't remember. Yeah, death, torture, child endangerment and trafficking and that kind of stuff. So basically all the stuff that we're saying they did, they're like, we're not releasing that stuff.
Yeah. So
sure, we have a bunch of data that it happened, but
yeah.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Let's click this Matt Stoller thing. So this guy really, really summed it up beautifully. I just want to scroll down. Well, right there. I'm just going to quote him directly. It's really good. He says, well, it's clear that Epstein was an entrepreneurial broker across multiple public and private bureaucracies, helping organize under-the-table deals among the legal, business, intelligence, and political elites to allow them to escape the rule of law and traditional conflict of interest restrictions. It's statecraft to allow a superclass to systemically escape the formalized rules. The pedophilia and prostitution were part of it. That's obviously violating the rule of law. But so are the random favors Epstein bestowed, like Epstein sending Senator Joe Manchin's request for a yacht.
We didn't even get to talk about that one. There's so many insane things.
There's so many. A request which came from the First Lady of the Virginia Islands to a random New York financier who might have one. Or working with Joy Ito at MIT and billionaire Reid Hoffman to restructure the Bitcoin Foundation. It's all about matching capital and talent and inputs outside of the restrictions ordinary people are subject to. This kind of governance is particularly important in Soviet style. He draws a connection between Soviet skirting of the laws, where everyone knows the rules are fake, where skirting the system is the system. Epstein and his affiliates thrived because of the weakened institutions of the United States. And this is crucial. Institutions enfeebled in many cases by the men in his network. Like Larry Summers. These men adopted multiple roles: advisor, businessman, academic, board member, regulator, and put on the hat that best maximized their self-interest and the self-interest of their narrow network at that moment. The old world where handing someone your business card meant you represented that institution disappeared in the 1980s. Over the course of the 1990s, neoconservatives, neoliberals, bankers, ultimately Epstein's network, built this new social order. It was one where you couldn't succeed through the formal rules, but if you were let into the networks of trust by these people, you could do anything you wanted. While all of the specifics of Epstein's network are not known, and while conspiracy theorists often have crazy views, they have correctly fingered that the world of meritocracy and formalized systems is increasingly a fraud, and that the real government lies elsewhere. In short, when formal democratic institutions like Congress stop governing, the networks of men like Epstein fill the power vacuum. Epstein built what Roy Cohn always wanted to have but never achieved, because the then institutions were too strong for him to break. I think that is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty,
doesn't that fucking perfectly
that's pretty
encapsulate
spot on about what's happening. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of, like, I really do. I hope people see a path. I mean, I hope people run for office. I hope, because look, there is all across the political spectrum, people are desperate for change.
Yeah.
Like, everyone sees what's happening, but right now there really is no power to do anything. When the Department of Justice is completely controlled by Trump and his lackeys. Yeah.
And his fucking dipshit sons.
Nothing is going to change.
No.
But if we can, I mean, I don't even, maybe I'm just like, maybe this is all just cope. I don't know. Maybe it's just all fucked and it's like.
I feel like there was a vibe shift this weekend. And a lot of people kind of, I think Matt Stoller really perfectly articulated what a lot of people are feeling, but weren't quite able to put the pieces together on, which is that, yeah, these guys are above the law and they are the law. And now that we're all seeing it with our own eyes, hopefully it'll hopefully begin to put us in a place where we can rebuild those institutions that used to protect us from powerful people like that.
I also just think the power, I think it's like so many people though. We're not talking about just like a few guys, right? It's not like the removal of Trump. It's like the removal of an entire class here. I mean, when we're joking about that guy who's like head of some law firm asking if Epstein can do him a favor and get his son a role or a job on Woody Allen's new movie, it's like there are so many tentacles just like spreading out into all areas of our political, financial life, where it's like, I mean, how do you even begin to start? Because those people are going to dig their fucking claws in and are going to have to be dragged out of power. And when I say power, I don't mean that they hold office in Congress or wherever. Like, but the connection they have, like all of that. I don't know how you even begin severing all this from American political and power.
I mean, obviously it's going to be a long road, and hopefully the capture, the death, and the fallout of all this Epstein shit hopefully is a start, you know?
But yeah, I do think
but then, I mean, Trump is in the vacuum. It seems to be Trump has kind of emerged as a sort of corollary to this, you know, doing his own wheeling and dealing thanks to the anonymity of crypto.
Right. And we were talking about, and I said it before, like maybe it was when we went through the like birthday book or whatever, we were like, in any other era, in any other like country, if there was any semblance of justice, these people would have just stepped down.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that no one, with all of the shame, I guess Larry Summers has stepped down and been like, you know what, I'm going to retreat into private life. The fact that people aren't skulking away in shame,
mm-hmm.
I think just points to the fact that these people still realize that they just have complete control.
Mm. Yeah.
And you have those weird, I'm sure you've seen some like influencery type people who have clearly gotten some kind of line from on high of like, is it just me or is the Epstein stuff just so boring?
Oh yeah. And then Matt Taibbi was like, yeah. I saw he replied to that tweet. Yeah.
I didn't even, what did he write?
She said, this person said basically
what happened to Matt Taibbi?
And then he basically wrote back like, yeah, it is boring. That was essentially his reply. His reply was no, but it was it was affirming that it was boring. Is there anything more boring than these Epstein files? And he wrote no.
That's what, I mean, if you find this boring, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And that thing that Matt Stoller wrote, that is not some like, that's not some groundbreaking thing. We, like, since I was a child, we all understood the thing. It would be like a thing people would say of like, you know, these people have power, nothing will happen to them because they're powerful people and we can't do anything. That like thing we used to cope of like, oh, well, you know, he's a Kennedy or whatever, so he's not gonna get in trouble, has been, it's being confirmed right in front of our eyes. That there's a separate justice system, there's a separate everything, there's a separate system for these people. And we're all going to go insane. It's going to make us all crazy.
Click, boom.
Like I was saying before, you know, even though I'm seeing it with my own two eyes, reading about Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein talking about having Woody Allen edit the YouTube video, I'm not built for it. I'm going to go fucking nuts.
Yeah, shit sucks. Well, folks.
Bill Gates trying to sneak Melinda Gates
anti-STD
antibiotics
meds
to get rid of the fucking
if only someone had come up with a
because he won't wear a condom.
I need a condom that feels good
when he's going to these parties.
I don't want my nuts to feel when I nut I want it to feel good.
I'm not built for it.
Well, folks, what do you think? Let us know in the comments. And yeah, we're gonna go to the bonus. We're gonna talk a little bit about the my favorite schizo new thing that these guys are saying now. Are you ready for the next conversation? And then
I have a funny story for you too.
Oh, we got a funny story, and then we're gonna take apart a little bit the acid video, talk a little bit about that because you know, I mean, I know we have before, but you know, yeah. Wow, what an episode! All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Coming up on this week's episode of BenandEmilShow.com.
Joe Biden, he's what? Saying that Shumeri is Joe Biden? And then at the bottom, you got...
I do think he's maybe in on the joke or something.
No, he's not. He's serious.
It's really hard for me to tell.
He's dead serious, man. This is not...
It's just like too perfect.
His hat says ice wall. He's a
What
fucking...
does that mean?
It's part of the flat earther thing.
What's the ice wall?
The ice wall is the perimeter of the earth.
That's what they
that
think?
you can't... Yes. How did you not know that? There's an ice wall,
I don't
bro.
look into this shit. I don't know what the fuck they think.
I will be watching that. Even though I don't like... I mean, I like him, but I don't like him. I don't know, man.
We'll watch...
I just wish he would just take a break, man. He's just in everything.
You watch everything he's in. Why don't you take a break? Maybe you need a Jason break,
because it's not me who sucks. He doesn't suck.
You watch everything and you're like, did you see the one with him and Jude Law where they have a restaurant or whatever? Yeah, I fucking hate that guy. Yeah. Oh, man,
I don't
he's
hate him. I have Jason Bateman fatigue.
He's doing another
Ozark
one.
was great. Slow down. Nobody's working as much as he is.
You just binging Smartless podcast and being
Oh,
like,
no,
I can't stand this guy.
Someone suggested an air show. That would be great. But I'd be scared of there being a tragedy.
You're scared of there being a tragedy anywhere we go. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
but in particular, an air show would
in
be...
both videos, you said, imagine we witnessed a tragedy. You said it at the Grove and at this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always on the lookout. You gotta keep...
I think you want to see a tragedy.
I don't want to see a tragedy.
You do.
I mean, there was a part of me during 9/11. I was like, what if the towers fell over instead of imploded? That'd be fucking destructive.